could take weeks in a normal situation. What made this one different?
What made it different mostly was because we had a number of agreements with the defense lawyer covering a lot of the contentious issues. The main issues when we first looked at the file would have been whether or not the child was whether the Crown could prove that the child was actually born alive, and the admissibility of the confession. Once those hurdles were overcome, counsel had an opportunity to review the material. Defense counsel agreed to its admissibility. It made our jobs in terms of presentation easier, and it allowed the defense counsel to focus on the issue that he had to wrestle with, which was whether or not it was planned and deliberate. You know, we took the position from the beginning that clearly that this was planned from October, and I think it would have become abundantly clear to anybody who was listening to the confession yesterday afternoon that what was said in the opening remarks was exactly the case that the Crown had. This man had determined that back in October, that the child was going to be born and the child was not going to live, and from that point forward, everything just slowly fell into place, and until it culminated with the tragedy of him stabbing the child immediately after its birth.
And the prescribed sentence also expedited the end of this?
No.
No?
It sounded like the judge was already leaning toward your argument even before the surprise guilty plea.
When he delivered his reasons after the accused entered a guilty plea, it became apparent that certainly he would have listened carefully to the submissions of Crown Counsel this morning, which I think if you listened were very comprehensive, and it was, I think, readily apparent that Mr. Miller had a serious uphill road to hoe today to get over the mountain of evidence against him.
What message is this going to send to, well, not only people in Charlotte County, but you know, there's been 4 similar cases in New Brunswick in the past couple of years. Not identical, but similar. What message does this send?
I think these cases are all unique. I don't know that it sends any message. I think you have to deal with them as they arise. They each have unique characteristics and circumstances, and that's how we deal with cases one at a time.
Must be a deterrence message here, though. I mean, the gentleman just went away for 25 years.
Well, it's going to deter him.
Randy, what did you think anyways? I mean, you must have been as surprised as the rest of the people in the courtroom.
Well, in a criminal trial, it always amazes me that you never know what's going to happen, and that's what happened today with the change of plea. It was accepted by the judge and endorsed by Justice McClellan. So in criminal trials, you never know what's going to happen. Mr. Hansen, representing Mr. Miller, had, as Mr. McAvity said, an uphill battle, and he had a tremendous battle to move this anywhere but from first-degree murder. And following the submission, Mr. Hansen met with his client, and they carefully thought out what the next course would be, and as you know, that was to change plea. So it was a surprise, absolutely.
There's another court case coming up related to this. Does this have any impact, I mean, legally on that other court case? I mean, today's outcome? I don't know.
We're not going to offer any opinion on that at all. That's a separate matter. It's still before the courts. This matter's through, and we don't want to get into discussing that at this point for prejudice to that case. So we're going to have no comment on that. Thank you.
The charge that he stayed in there today, what does that mean? He's pleaded guilty to it, then it's judicially stayed.
It's judicially stayed in that the judge sees no practical reason to sentence Mr. Miller for that particular charge. The most significant case and charge was the first-degree murder prosecution, and there was nothing practically to be served by sentencing.
It would be concurrent, right?
It most likely would have been concurrent in any event.
Thank you.